Today at UPR Products, we're going to show you how to assemble the UPR rear coilover conversion. So this is what we call our maximum rear coilover kit. It's going to have 2 coilover conversion sleeves, 2 upper spring locators, or what we call a cap. It's going to have O-rings, and I'll explain what those are for, as well as an Allen wrench. And what you'll need to complete is you'll need a shock and a spring. To do the job, you're going to need anti-seize, a utility knife, and either a grinder or a hacksaw, and we'll show you why. In the case of the strain shock, there's a dust cover here that needs to get removed, and under the top bushings here, we also have a cap, a dust cap, and there's 2 welds, one there and one there. Other shocks may have a different configuration, but you're just going to cut those welds and get this cap off to make it just the lower portion of the shock is all we need. So it's a plastic tube. You want to carefully use the knife and cut away from you. And cut up to where the dust cover goes around the cap. Once you get that cut and scored, you should be able to pull it apart very easily. We're going to discard this. This dust cap is now going to get cut off, and we're going to use a cutoff wheel. You can use any manner of cutoff wheel or a hacksaw to do so. So we'll quickly get this cut. We're going to grind the welds on each side, and I'm going to cut a slot across it to make this easier to remove. All right, so we're going to use an abrasive cutoff wheel on a grinder to make this cut. Make sure you wear safety goggles. We want you guys to be able to drive your car when you're done, and just carefully support it and cut the sleeve off. All right, so we've gone ahead and basically ground on the welds, and we've cut a slot in here. So we're going to use a pair of pliers and just going to use a little bit of muscle and break the rest of that tack weld to get this cap off of there. So another quick tech tip: if you have a good solid mounted vise, an easier way to get the cap off is once you have that cut, just put the cap in the vise and work the shock to bend that and get it out of the way. So the kit comes with 3 different size O-rings, and as it says in the instructions, typically the thinnest O-rings work with the strain shocks or QA1. Then you have your other shocks, and so if it's like a Lakewood, it might use a thicker shock, a thicker ring. We have a groove at the bottom and a groove at the top, which may be a little harder to see. But basically you're going to put 2 O-rings, one in the bottom, one in the top. You can use a silicone-based like lubricant, some WD-40. I happen to have some of the silicone grease that we use in our suspension kits, and I'm going to put just a little bit in there to not only help to kind of lubricate the O-ring, but to get it to stay. So that O-ring is going to go in here. I'm going to throw a little bit of that silicone lubricant on there. And then here, I'm going to push the O-ring through the hole. Another thing is this top piece is a threaded on part, so you want to make sure it's threaded all the way to the top. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that that gets in the groove. Now O-rings are basically going to take up the space between the inside of the sleeve and the outside diameter of the shock. Now we have them both in place. Just going to work it over the outside of the shock. And you can look inside and see if the O-ring is moving, and this is in good shape here. It's going to be a snug fit. That one gets out of whack there, we'll just go ahead and push it back in. So now that's in place. The next step, before you make any adjustments or install this on a car, you want to put a little dab of anti-seize on the threads. You don't need a lot, but you need enough to make sure the threads won't gall. Go ahead and work that through. The anti-seize is going to keep the aluminum from galling, so aluminum on aluminum can easily gall and cause this to lock up. It's very important to have the anti-seize on here. The Allen screw has a nylon tip, so that all you need to do when you have your adjustment set, just snug it. You don't need to really tighten it too hard, but just snug it so it'll retain that and make sure it doesn't move. Assembling this on the car, you're going to put your spring into place onto the adjusting collar. Now, on our website, uprproducts.com, we do have an optional coilover thrust bearing. The thrust bearing would go between the spring and the collar, and it's not including it in the kit, but it is something that we would recommend because it makes ride height adjustments much, much easier. The way these go together is you have a washer, you have a Torrington bearing or a thrust washer, and then another washer. You can put a little bit of grease there or anti-seize on that Torrington bearing. The spring is going to go next, followed by your retainer cup. And that's basically the assembly before you go to put it in the car. So this is something I also want to address is if the shock is completely extended, you'll see there's some free length here or some free floating. That's not to, don't panic about that. When the car is has weight on it and this compresses, it's going to compress that spring. It's very common to have some space between the top of the spring and the bottom of the cup when you're putting everything together and before you have it assembled in the car. Once it's in the car, generally you would put a bushing on the bottom and a bushing on the top. In the case of this kit here, to reduce some noise, you can put a bushing on here, but we'd recommend maybe splitting that in half, maybe half the width. This is going to go up into the body of the car, and then the lower shock mount is going to engage the bottom of the shock. Once it's in the car, then you'll have your other bushing that will go on the other side of the body, inside the hatch or inside the trunk area, then your washer, and then your nut. So this is your complete assembled rear coilover conversion kit from UPR Products. This is great for 79 to 04 Mustangs that need a little bit more adjustment in ride height for a taller tire, like a drag tire. It's not intended to slam a car down on the ground because a lot of times your limitation is going to be the shock's bump travel. You may not, in the case of a strain shock, you may not be able to compress this shock enough to get a car really low. This is more for the guys who are putting on a radial or a drag slick on their car and need a little bit of clearance. Get yours at uprproducts.com or any UPR Products dealer.